Hello, we are the 4-H Science of Agriculture team from Lebanon County. We're going to do a quick overview for you today. First, we're going to introduce our team. Then we're going to introduce the topic that we chose. Next, we're going to talk about the health, environmental, economical, and social benefits. And then we're going to go over the results of a survey that we took. And then we're going to show you the solution we came up with. So, meet the team from Lebanon County. So Ashley, who's first, wasn't able to be here today.
And I'm Leesa. I'm 17, and I was in 4-H for 5 years. And the picture I have up there is me at an organic produce stand, which I work at in Reading.
My name is Jolene Bomgardner. I am 14 years old. I have been in 4-H for 4 years now. In my picture, I'm putting a milker on a cow at my grandparents' dairy farm.
I'm Evelyn Troutman. I'm 12 years old. I've been in 4-H for 3 years, and my picture is my dairy beef project named Hefty.
So our theme this year is Support Your Local Farmers, which fits into the pillar of agriculture called the relationship between agriculture and lifestyle. The problem that we came up with this year was, what is the definition of local foods?
I'll be talking about the health benefits of local foods. So the health and wellness benefits, say someone is allergic to whatever, and they could eat local produce, and that might help, or they would be less allergic to that product. For example, if someone's really allergic to the pollen in the air, they are suggested to consume local honey to see if that will help with, of course, the local pollen in the air. Local versus imported. Imported food goes through a lot of different environments, air currents, and human handling. But of course, buying local allows you to know where your fresh produce, milk, and eggs come from and how it's handled. Contamination. Food safety is very important to everyone, especially groups of people with high risk of health issues, such as younger children and elderly people. Food safety, of course, involves monitoring the food's level of contamination risk, which could involve poor employee hygiene, rodents, insects, toxic preservatives, and hazardous storage facilities. So the less processing between your supplier where you get your food, the less risk of contamination will be. Then seasonal greetings. The best part about buying local is that the product you just purchased is full of nutrients and at its peak, so you'll get all the nutrients you need for a balanced diet. As well as local food, of course, has great proteins and vitamins and whole grains compared to processed and packaged foods.
Ashley, our team member who isn't here, chose the environmental benefits of local food. Buying local food reduces food miles. Imported food can sometimes be shipped either hundreds or thousands of miles just to get to your local supermarket. The more miles that are accumulated during food transportation, the more fossil fuels are consumed. The transportation also causes greater carbon emissions. By reducing food miles, it is helping to decrease the dependence on fossil fuels. It also preserves small farmland. When local farms are established, eating local will help to protect the farmland. Without small-scale farms, the land may be developed for industrial or commercial use. Farmland also attracts other types of biodiversity and gives animals, insects, and birds a place to live. Buying local food preserves genetic diversity. Many types of farmed produce uses modern commercial technologies from genetic strands. In small-scale farming, the farmers use a variety of produce types. The last section is promotes accountability. When consumers buy local, they get a better understanding of where their food comes from. This helps to encourage local farmers to use more sustainable agriculture practices and to be more accountable to safe ecological practices. This may include not using pesticides. Many local farmers will pursue organic certification to improve their nutritional value.
I did the economic benefits. Buying local food has many benefits for the economy. First, it keeps money in your community. By buying local food, you can choose to support local people and friends in your community rather than supporting larger food chains and supermarkets. Secondly, local farmers will keep more of the profit than supermarket workers and suppliers because there are less processing fees for local farmers. Transportation costs are also down because there is very little, if any, transportation when you buy produce off the farm where it was grown. The larger the profits that the farmers keep, the more they prosper. As these local farms prosper and grow, they need employees to help them produce and meet the consumer demand. This provides sustainable employment for your friends, neighbors, and other members of your community. Finally, when the word spreads about the amazing food that local farmer Bob sells, restaurants, schools, and hospitals are going to want to get this food that is all the rage. This will drastically increase the size and output of his farm and get his name out to students, families, hospital patients, and restaurant patrons.
Most people probably don't think about the social benefits of buying local, but it's the area that really ties everything together and turns the whole thing into a specialty. I interviewed several local farmers and the results were quite interesting. A recurring theme that they all said to me was that they need the community to be more supportive in order for their farm and their efforts to directly market their products to work. Buying local food supports local farmers. Farming is more than a business, it is a lifestyle. You can help farmers and their families carry out what they have been doing for years. Consumers really need to put more thought into their food purchases and buy local because this is one way to bring the community together. Many times you can purchase right from the farm and that builds a relationship between you, the farmer, and your food. Know where your food comes from by supporting the farmer. It results in a shorter process from farm to fork. Consumers can use their purchasing power to support the kind of food production that they prefer. Buying local also helps keep self-sufficiency skills in your neighborhood, since farmers are usually talented at many things. They're good people to have around. One of the many things that come with purchasing local foods is that you are contributing to your community, diversity of production, and an improved sense of well-being. The benefits will lead you to know that your purchases made a difference.
As a team, we decided that local food was going to be our topic, but when we started doing research, we couldn't find a solid definition of local, so we decided to ask the public. We came up with a 5-question survey based on a California survey about local food and some questions that the team came up with ourselves. All of the questions were multiple choice. We circulated them through our churches, schools, family, and friends. SurveyMonkey compiled the results and they drew 100 random survey responses, which made calculating the percentages really easy. That is what we used to present this data. The first question was, what option best defines local food? We offered 6 options that ranged from I know the farmer that grew it to grown in the United States. The popular choice was grown in my county or surrounding counties, chosen by 60% of the people we surveyed.
The second question we asked was, what is your main reason for buying local food? To support our local farmers and diversified agriculture got the most votes with 39% out of 100. The third question we asked was, how many meals do you eat in a week that includes food from local sources? 5 or less meals a week got the most votes with 30% out of 100, and 6 to 10 meals was the runner-up with 28%.
And the fourth question was, on a scale of 1 to 5, how available do you feel local foods are to your family? And what we got the most, of course, was moderate. And question 5 was, where would you most likely buy your local food? and farmers market got the most.
Since our research has told us that farmers need the community to be more supportive of their selling local, and consumers are saying that they think the availability of local food is only about moderate at best, we've decided that we need to do something to bring the people and the farms together. Our team is working on developing a local foods farm tour program for people to go around Lebanon County and seek out the farms who are selling directly to consumers. We're putting together a book with the information about the participating farms and the directions so consumers know where to go. While they are at the farm buying their local food, they will get a stamp in their book to prove that they were there. Consumers will have certain time frame to go to this farm and get their stamps. Once their tour book is complete, they can turn it in by our deadline. Hopefully, we can give away prizes as an incentive to do this program. We plan to have a media blitz to promote this program that will be happening this summer. We think this is a great way to start getting more people in our community to make the farm-to-table connection and help our local farms.
As Thomas Jefferson said, agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will, in the end, contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Well, I don't know. I think that you guys did a swell job, and I was just wondering, how old are you?
I'm 12.
You're 12, okay. And are you all in the same school? No? Different schools? All came together through 4-H. That's really nice. And who made your shirts?
Funny story about that.
It's a good story. Go ahead.
Okay.
So I went to TSC the one day, and I was looking for boots to go with my 4-H sewing project. And like there was a rack, and I saw like this one shirt, and then I didn't like it. So Mom was like, "Well, spin the rack around." So like we looked, and we found this shirt, and like I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love that shirt." I like fell in love with it at first sight. So I bought one and took it home. And then Mom's like, "Well, you should like show that to your ag science team." And like I wanted to wear this like everywhere. And then my dad's like, "No, you're not wearing it till you show it to the rest of the 4-H team." And I was like, "Ugh," because that was like 2 weeks away. And I was like, "You're not gonna torture me for this for 2 weeks." But he did. And then we showed it to the team, and like the rest of the team liked it. So then I got another shirt because I figured I would wear this one then before state days came.
Well, they're so appropriate, and I thought maybe they were custom made, and you had the patent on them or something. But wow. There is a little booklet, oh goodness, it must be at least 10 years ago, that I worked on with the RC&D Council. That's something that some of our commissioners go to from time to time. But anyhow, we did a farmer's market tour for the county. Let's see if I can find a copy and share it with you. Maybe they're all defunct now, but maybe it's a place to start to help you with your project.
Thank you.
I would make a suggestion that you reach out to Jen Kuzo at the Tourism Bureau, and maybe she can help coordinate the promotion of this.
That's a good idea.
And the other thing is, I think it's Google Maps. You can type in addresses and have a map, an electronic map online. You're familiar with that? Can make that up? Yeah, there's all kinds of great things that can come from this. And your enthusiasm is going to just generate a lot more than any adults could. So just keep up the smiles and the work you're doing, because I think it's going to benefit us all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us today. We appreciate it.
How many people did you survey for the part about
100.
where did they go?
It was like 300 some,
Oh,
but
wow.
then
Probably
like
more than that, actually.
yeah, but then like SurveyMonkey only chose like 100 because
Oh,
we
so you
didn't.
used
The first 100, yeah.
Because we did it by an more advanced
Free is good.
version.
Yeah.
That's what we were.
Free is good.
And then free will only give you a
100.
synopsis of the first 100, which actually worked out well because it gave quick percentages for the
Yeah.
work. A good question.
The next time we do a survey, we're coming to our commissioners to include them.
Well, I certainly want to compliment, first of all, the young ladies for working on this and putting together, and the 4-H program in general and as a whole, because I have been totally impressed with the enthusiasm and the sincerity of the young people that are involved in these programs. You don't find that